Stay out and stay alive. Dinosaurs ruled the earth for 200 million years before they disappeared, but we seem to have found one out on the plaza. All morning we've been showing you this T-Rex stalking the crowd. He is part of a prehistoric live production that is hitting cities all across the country this year. And NBC's Peter Alexander is in Tacoma, Washington with more. Hey, Peter.
Meredith, good morning to you. You've got the baby T-Rex. I think we may have found her mom. Imagine what it would have been like living in the presence of dinosaurs. Paleontologists tell us about carnivores that were 2 stories tall and herbivores that weighed as much as 20 elephants. So what would it have been like to walk with dinosaurs? And we're not talking about those stiff, jerky displays, but creatures that move, look, and act like the real thing. They have fascinated humans of all ages. Now, 65 million years after their extinction, these prehistoric creatures that once ruled the earth are back.
Like sending man to the moon. No one had ever tried to do this before. These are not models. This is not an exhibit. These are not caricatures. These animals are alive.
Next month, 15 of the dinosaurs will begin touring the U.S., from the spiky Stegosaurus to the ferocious Tyrannosaurus rex. They are lifelike and life-sized. The Brachiosaurus towers 45 feet. Talk about a tall order.
The base structure for all of them is a metal skeleton, which is driven by the hydraulics. Over that, a foam body. On top of that, we put the muscle bags, and then the skin goes over the top of all of that.
Once the idea for walking with dinosaurs was hatched, it took hundreds of people, artists, sculptors, and engineers, 6 years and $20 million to bring these dinosaurs to life.
So the muscles ripple, the voice comes from the dinosaur. The eyes look at you and follow you and blink.
From conception to design, then construction, testing, and finally the finishing touches.
A child calls out in the audience, the dinosaur will swing around and look at it and respond to it.
So how does it work? Drivers are hidden below most of the giant animals to help them walk around. Puppeteers use what they call voodoo rigs, hooked up to a complicated set of hydraulics to make many of the dinosaurs move.
I've got a really cool job.
It is an unprecedented production, part education, part entertainment, all designed to let audiences take a step back in time. It really feels like you have taken a step back in time. To give you a sense, this T-Rex is 25 feet tall and 40 feet long, the most ferocious animal to have walked the earth. It lived many years ago, 65 million plus years ago. And as he moves around me, I want to introduce you to Scott Ferris, who's the director of this production. Scott, thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Give us a sense, 15 dinosaurs in all. What's the goal? What do you hope to accomplish with this production?
To have the dinosaurs reconquer America, come back to Earth, and just blow audiences' minds around the country.
Yeah. And you've already conquered Australia over the course of 5 months. So when you take the T-Rex on the road and you're staying in the Best Western in Tacoma, does he get cranky at night, or how's he?
No complaints from these actors. These are the biggest actors I've worked with the smallest egos I've ever seen. So they're very easy to travel with.
Having directed on Broadway and theater for many years, what's the difference when you're working with animatronics, with creatures this large?
Well, the hardest thing here is to map it out. This is Stego here coming in to say hello.
The reason we're safe with Stego, mind you, is Stego's an herbivore.
That's right.
So we don't look so good to her.
That's right. He won't bother us at all. Now the hard part is trying to take these creatures and we were creating the show before they actually existed. So we'd had one of our dinosaurs built, and the rest of them were just models. We were like kids playing with the models, trying to figure out how to make the show.
Which I think is what's so remarkable about this, is the gist is you took a television documentary, essentially, and you tried to make it into a careful tale, into a live-action production. I think that would likely knock us out. The Stegosaurus, I read overnight, has a tiny brain, roughly 80 grams, so I'm not sure that she knows where that tail's moving.
Yeah.
And these behind us right now, we should note, are the raptors. These guys march throughout the course of the show as well. What's the reaction as you take this on the road? What have you heard from people?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, really. The first time we had an audience, we had no idea what they'd do, but once they came, they just loved it. And these guys are the villains, of course. People remember from Jurassic Park, the Utah Raptor. Here comes the big mama again.
Yeah, the Big Mama's not messing around, and clearly the Raptors know what they're doing. As we've noted, the Big Mama would eat roughly 160 pounds, or us. Yeah, I see you. I see
you very easily.
It's insane. You feel the muscles ripple. You can watch when it breathes. It's always in action. The show is going to go to more than 100 U.S. cities in the course of more than the next. Yeah, I heard you, big guy.
Yeah, yeah. It's unbelievable, really, when you see them this close. You can see what the impact is, and this is just in a big, well-lit arena. When we get the theatrical lighting in and all the effects and everything with it, it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah,
really.
What's remarkable is the only places you can't take it are where arenas are simply not big enough.
Exactly right. So they need to build bigger arenas so we can fit in.
So you can fit. We should note, if you want more information, you can go to todayshow.com, and there's more information about how to get tickets to see these guys. And Meredith, I think you can send the baby T-Rex back to Tacoma. So for folks driving the I-90 east to west, if they see a big semi with a dinosaur tail out the back, keep a safe distance.
Just a typical day at work for us.
Thanks, Peter. And Scott, Peter, you look a little nervous around the dinosaurs. Whoa.
You feel like you're next to a real dinosaur.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you so much. We need some Tic Tacs, by the way, out here in the plaza. Breath bad. When we come back, Pamela Anderson is going to do a little magic for us. But first, this is Today on NBC. It's wild.
Today's